Hey Taurus, this is Perrymore Tarot's daily reading for August 1st, 2024. This is for Taurus. Last shuffle coming out for Taurus. Let's see what's going on. So Taurus, what we have is a great achievement in the status quo energy. So this tells me that you're going to finally reach, this is like a finally, right? With great achievement, it's like something happens and you realize that you are more stable than you know, that things are really balanced. You're going to see this. Okay, this is like a great achievement, which means that you've done a lot of work to get to a place where you could say, finally, okay, I did something, I accomplished something, I am where I need to be, I'm doing what I need to be doing. Okay, now we have the Hanged Man. Strength, goodness gracious, with that, that's great. You change something, you see something differently, right? And you have conviction about it too. Like whatever it is that you see, before maybe you were unstable. With this coming out, this means that maybe my outlook on life was very unstable, and now I see things differently, and I'm actually surrendering to the process of spirit. Like I'm really allowing spirit to guide me here. Really, and it was so hard. This is saying it's hard. It was hard. It's hard for you to do, and it was hard for you to do. But something happens with the great achievement. This is an event. So this would be something happening here. The Hanged Man's strength, Five of Wands, and Five of Pentacles. It says that you just don't have a fight left in you. Something happens and you realize I don't even like, you may see it differently now. Like this isn't even hard. Why was I thinking this was so hard? Why do I think that life is so hard? Or why did I think this situation was going to be a struggle or whatever? And you find that there is no real struggle in this, right? You find that it's like you get your sea legs back. You know what I mean? You get back on the horse. And great achievement is that you see things differently now. You don't see things as a deficit or um, as a problem. Like, and it also looks like within yourself, you don't see yourself as someone who doesn't is incapable. You don't see your flaws anymore, right? You this Something is going to happen that's going to show you that it's not due to your incapability to do something. It's not due to you um, being incompetent or not having something or being in a deficit in some way. Things are, it's all about how you see it. Everything is all about perspective in this energy. Status quo is Temperance and Nine of Pentacles, and so this is a cycle of understanding that, man, they're showing me someone. I know that this is not necessarily the case for everybody, right? But years ago, I kid you not, this had to be about 20 years ago. I worked at this college, and every morning I had to ride on the highway. Every morning, right? And I would go under a bridge, and there was always this homeless guy out there, and he would always hold a sign up, and it wasn't that it was like different. It was different. He was like, God loves you, you're special, you're important. And he would always hold signs up, trying to show you, trying to show you that you matter, you know. And he used to touch me because at that time I was struggling so badly, man. I was struggling going to this job, um, stressed out because I couldn't afford my life, and I was up against a lot of opposition. I was surrounded by people who were just like dark, always trying to put me down. And this guy got so famous that the news did a story on him, and he chose to be homeless. And he chose it because he was I think an accountant doing well. And then he was like, I'm tired of this. I'm tired of the rat race. I'm a slave, and I want to be homeless. People were giving him all kinds of gifts. It was like he touched so many people's lives. And so it's all about perspective. I guess is why Spirit brought this up. I forgot about that. Man, that was a long time ago. But it's all about perspective, right? It's not a struggle when you think about where you really are. You're not really losing. You're not really without. You're not really alone. You're not shut out. Spirit isn't punishing you in any way. Your life is not meant to be a struggle. You're not meant for that. You're not meant for any of these things that we all think, like especially if you're struggling financially, does that mean you're a bad person? I hear people saying all the time, don't have kids because if you can't afford them. I'm like, do you hear yourself? You know that as many people, that bring up scripture and such, Jesus, if you look at it, they were called nomads, right? That means you were homeless, right? You had a tent. They traveled throughout almost the entire duration of his life. Tents. Nomad. What does nomad mean? You're a traveler, you live in a tent. What is that but homeless, right? Born in a stable, for like a manger, basically a freaking barn. Does that make you a good person? Having things, being rich? Not at all, right? It's like a lot of people, they thump these things, they stand behind these things to use it to hurt other people or to judge other people, but they don't read to comprehend. You know what I mean? I'm sorry, I could get on a soapbox about these type of things. And so status quo would tell me that you realize that you have luxuries in life that you didn't see before. Even if you have nothing, you have everything, right? Because you got you. I'm so sorry. It's just that it's like I'm being filled up. Taurus, y'all's readings always do this to me. Fill me with spirit. It's beautiful. I can only imagine if I had Tauruses in my life, which I do have about 3 or 4 of them in my life. And I tell you, every time I speak to them, it's enriching. It's just, I always tell them they're grounders. They ground people, man. You guys are amazing. Professional assistants, King of Wands, and Star. This is a person who is, in their own right, a master of something. This is someone who is a healer. This is someone who is confident. Their confidence is their robe, but they may be overworked and overwhelmed, and they may feel like they have nothing to give, but they still, it's like they benefit from seeing themselves through the eyes of others. This is someone who may be helping you, but you may help them see who they really are because of where they have helped you. You've helped me change my perspective. Let me help you see yourself, right? Let me help you. And what a beautiful energy this is. But this is a person who is a healer. They may need healing now. They may be overrun. Like how I know here I go with my references, right? But if you ever seen the Green Mile, right, and how John Coffey would take in, he's a healer. He would come in, he'd take all the illness away, take all the darkness out of people, all of the parasites within you, and he ended up choking on one person that was just filled with it, and he needed help. And it's almost in that energy. Someone may be healing you, and you may need to give them something. You're healing them now. With all the power that was given to you, you are able to help them now. Victim mentality is a Knight of Wands and the Two of Pentacles. So there's something here. They're talking about the mentality, and they're saying that you may have made a home. You may have gotten really comfortable with investing a lot of time into listing all of the reasons why you were victimized and how you were victimized. Some of you may have gotten really comfortable with this. Spirit saying that you should be celebrating, but instead, this may have been the motivation, the thought process of, and this is what they said, and this is what they did, right? And I had to get better because of it. I had to work on this because of it. And that is a victim mentality energy, simply because you're right where you're meant to be. You're where you're meant to be, no matter what anyone has done to you. And that's something Spirit wants you to understand. A lot of us do this, I myself included, have been on that train of it. There's no telling where I would be if they didn't do this and that didn't happen and that da da da. And Spirit's like, you're right where you need to be. Things were meant to happen for a reason. Things happen for a reason. As Temperance is saying here with status quo. Understanding that you have been saved. Right? It's about a perspective. It's all about perspective. And that's a great achievement that they're showing here, that maybe you are actually going to experience through some kind of event. Something happens and you realize, I am so much better off than I even understood. Right? This is an investment in time where, like we say, these things happen to me. This is where I'm at now. There's no telling where I would be if I wasn't dealing with XYZ. And then they're showing here that you see this differently and you realize that this strengthened you. These experiences made you a better warrior, right? You're one of the 300 type of energy. I'm hearing drums. Oh, I'm hearing drums. Someone may need your help, though. Someone may need to be healed or blessed by you after them blessing you. And then hopefully that you are able to see that you are truly blessed, that you have the luxury of a team of angels behind you. I mean, that's basically what this is saying. Maybe if you shift your perspective, you can see it. You might be able to even see the auras off of people's shoulders. That's where I see it usually. If I look around their head and their shoulders, I can see a light coming off of people sometimes, and it looks like perhaps you will be able to see it too. Perhaps you already do, for this to be here. But you are protected and you are loved, and Spirit wants you to understand that. So you could be dealing with a Pisces, a Leo, a Sagittarius, or an Aquarius. We also have Aries, or Aries. So you could be an Aries Taurus cusp. You could be dealing with a Pisces Aries cusp or an Aquarius Pisces cusp. If you're not dealing with those signs could also be in your chart. If you'd like to book a personal reading with me, my links are on my page. Peace, love, and light. Take care.